All right, well, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming, community members. And I know we see some billets and some media members, so thanks for coming today. I'd like to welcome everybody, and the idea today is just kind of introduce you to our new leadership here with the Brookings Blizzard and open up for some questions and obviously be available for some questions afterwards. So we really appreciate everybody taking their time out of their day to join us. And like I said, we'll also be doing a meet and greet later this afternoon at Buffalo Wild Wings from 5 to 7. For billets, community members, some kids that'll be in the visa program, that kind of thing as well. So we'd like to welcome everybody to come to that this afternoon as well. So obviously we'd like to introduce Chris Canavati. He's our team owner. He's owned the team for 10 seasons now. So we're excited for the number of years to come. And so I'd like to turn it over to Chris, who will introduce Dan Daikawa as our new head coach. So Chris Canavati.
Thank you, Riley, and thank you all for being here with us this morning. Let's just get right to business. The Blizzard organization is very proud to introduce to you our new head coach of the Brookings Blizzard, Dan Daikawa. Dan is a tremendous teacher and a coach with a proven track record as a winner. More importantly, his integrity and his value-centered approach will help us recruit the elite hockey players that we need to bring a championship to Brookings. There's no question in my mind that the team that he's going to build are going to make us proud of these players, not only on the ice but off the ice. They'll be contributors in the community and good citizens to their homes. So with that, I want Dan to come up and say a few words and answer some questions, if you will. But Dan, welcome to our organization, and we're proud to have you. You going to wear the hat?
I can. Might be a little big, but it's a little big. First off, I want to thank Chris and the Canavati family for giving me an opportunity. Pretty excited to be here, excited to have the opportunity. I'll tell you the truth, the last time I was in this building, I actually walked away with a loss. A little frustrating, but it means that for myself, hopefully there's more wins to come in this building. So I am truly excited. It's an honor to be part of the organization. And, my conversations with Chris earlier, I think it's so important in junior hockey to build a culture. And I've been fortunate enough to be with a couple different organizations that we built a culture pretty early on. And I think that's the one thing that we're going to focus on. I think you have to find the right boys, especially when it's in a community where they're coming from, all around the world, to tell you the truth. And so if we get the right character kids in and we start with that, and hard work is really what I really focus on. I think that if you get the right group in the right locker room setting, it's where you have success in this league especially. The league itself is just getting better and better every year. It's getting younger, which I think is important. And we're going to find the best kids we can for the community and for our team, and we'll try to develop them the best we can. So, like I said, I'm really honored to be here. A little bit about myself. I have 3 young kids at home, 12, 9, and 6. We are moving right into the community. So as soon as school's out, we will be here living in town, and we're excited about it. Hopefully we'll be able to play some golf this summer if the weather ever changes as we get ready for hockey. But like I said, we're excited to be here. My kids are really excited to be a part of it. Obviously that means that from the youth hockey up, I'm going to be involved. My oldest and youngest are both boys. My daughter says she doesn't like to play with boys, so she doesn't want to play hockey anymore. So we'll see how that goes. But I know there is plenty of hockey, but she likes to be a hockey sister for now, and we won't push. But like I said, we're excited to be here. We're going to put ourselves right into the community from day one, and hopefully get to know a lot of people and make sure that when the boys are here in the community that they're going to be doing the right thing. And that's a big part of it, is not just developing them as hockey players, but obviously as human beings and young adults. So that's obviously a focus for everybody.
Dan, if you would, talk about your hockey resume, your hockey background.
Well, I was born and raised in Apple Valley, Minnesota. From there, I played 1 year in the USHL, and then I was fortunate enough to go to Miami University, which is a top-tier Division I school. I left about 6 weeks into my senior year and went overseas. It was a situation I wasn't really sure about. My father is Japanese, and with the '98 Olympics coming on, the Calgary Flames head coach called me and asked. They brought, I think, 8 of us over there, heritage players they called us, and they brought us over to try to help the level of hockey in Japan to be able to compete at the national level. And so I went and played 11 years over there and throughout Europe. And so from there I went, when I was done playing, I went back and realized there's not too many opportunities without a college degree. So I went back to Miami University, got my degree, worked for 4 years, and worked with the hockey program there, mostly the club team. And from there I went to Jamestown in New York of the North American Hockey League, and my first year was a building year for us. And we were a transplant from Detroit, so it was a little bit of a growing period from moving kids from Detroit to the state of New York. And my second season, where I really got to know Chris, we played in the national tournament in my second season. And so then last year I was with the Minnesota Wilderness, and we put a team together in a couple weeks. And, you know, in the end we were a top 4 team in the league winning percentage-wise, and we built a culture there in a year. And, you know, we're just going to continue to try to build off of that, or personally, and we're going to build off of that with the ownership group and the staff that we try to put in place, and we go from there.
Dan, if you had to describe this culture you want to develop for someone, how would you describe it?
For me, I think the culture that you want to build is you want to build something that there's kids from all around the country, and that you don't have to necessarily go and beg kids to play. I mean, we want kids to come here because it's a great community. There's plenty of things to do with the university in town, restaurants, things to do, and in the end, the culture has to be that kids are having a great experience on the ice, in the community, and like I said, in the end, they want to come here for that.
What type of player do you want to bring into this program? I'm talking not just character-wise, but hockey skills-wise too.
Well, you know, I like a simple game, meaning, you know, the kids that work hard, they buy into a system, and, you know, you need to be able to have kids that can kind of do everything. There's specific guys that can play a top 6 role as a forward that are very offensive that maybe can't play the bottom half. So we have to mix and match and try to bring in the best kids as a group. There's no real, you know, I mean, you're going to try to find the best kids you can. And like I said, for me, it's all about hard work and commitment.
What kind of style of play do you like to coach? What's your preference?
An aggressive style. I mean, really, I'm a defenseman, and so it has to start defensively. You know, obviously starting with the goaltender. I've been fortunate enough. I've been in the league 3 years. I've had 3 Division I goalies. I've put every goalie that I've coached to the Division I level, and so I'm fortunate enough that the style that I've used in the past has worked, and hopefully we can continue to go from there. So, yep.
What are the first 3 things you're going to do as head coach?
Hopefully find a place to live. You know, obviously try to get involved in the community as much as I can. You know, the hockey part of it, tell you the truth, we finished and agreed that I was going to be the head coach Wednesday, and Thursday morning and I was down with Chris recruiting. So, you know, we didn't even wait 12 hours and we were already getting after it. So we're trying to find the right group of kids, and so, you know, like I said, I want to find a place to live for my family, make sure that that's important, and then, you know, make sure that when the time comes that we have the right players in place, and that the locker room and everything is where I want it to be, so that when the boys come to town, it's home, and that's, I think, the important part.
What kind of time frame are you working with tryout camps, things like that?
Well, we have a camp already in Duluth, Minnesota I believe it's on the 18th of May, and then we go and we have another one on the 30th of May. So we're in the process of trying to make sure that those camps have the best players possible for us to pick from in the pre-draft, and then the draft will be on June 3rd. And then, then we're going to find the top 23 or so players, or whatever our number ends up being, to bring them to main camp, and then kind of go forward from there.
What are your impressions of A, the facility here, the Larson Ice Center, and then B, the community of Brookings as a whole?
Well, I don't know the community that well. Like I said, I came in on New Year's Eve. I got snowed in for an extra night. Other than that, I was able to walk to the ground round for dinner. I mean, I don't know the community very well, and that's why we're coming, and we're going to move in hopefully mid-June and have the whole summer to really get to know the community. The rink itself is amazing. It's got 2 ice sheets. Like I said, the atmosphere is pretty good considering when we were here, it was snowing and the roads weren't very good. And obviously I've watched and seen that the attendances went up, especially towards the end of the season, and that's exciting considering, I felt the team was pretty standard, and at the end they picked it up as the boys wanted to make a commitment to make sure that they could come back. So the community and stuff, from what I've seen, has been phenomenal.
Any more questions for either Chris or Dan?
Well, I have one more. You've got a bunch of guys coming back. In your mind, is everybody who's still on that roster competing for a job on this new team?
100%. I think every single time that you're associated with a team, you always want to upgrade. You always want to try to bring in guys to push each other. Is everybody going to get a fair opportunity? Yes. Can I guarantee every guy is going to be back? Probably not. And that, I guess if that happens, that means that we've made a lot of good upgrades, and we found some players to really fit into what we're doing. But like I said, I started in Cloquet and made it to Alexandria last night, and I talked to every vet and every tender on the way down. And they're all excited about the change and about the opportunity moving forward and try to build a new culture, because that was one thing I talked about, is building a new culture. And they all agreed that obviously everybody would like to build off of what went on last year and make sure that we continue to get better every day. Yep.
Bill at Post this last year, and one of the concerns that I had was there was a lot of turnover last year.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that the team was performing quite like everybody wanted to, but how do you treat the development and the commitment to these boys to develop them for the future with the kind of uncertainty that comes from that incredibly high turnover?
It's a tough question, especially for the coaches. There's no guarantee with these players, and obviously you hope that you do enough research that you're picking the right boys. He said, for me, I always make sure that I'm calling their old coaches and making sure that they're the right players. I can't guarantee that we're not going to have turnover, because we will. Do I hope it's a lot less than what has gone on in the past? Yes. I'll leave it at that. Obviously, if it wasn't for the Billets, this organization or any organization in the junior hockey would not exist. You guys are the foundation of it, and so we want to make sure that we understand that you open your home. I opened my home to 3 boys because we lost a Billet family, so I had 3 boys living with my 3 kids, and it was interesting. But my youngest loved it. Hockey game on, he elbows one, elbows the other one, hops right in the middle of them, and felt right at home. But like I said, I understand where you guys are coming from, and tell you the truth, it'd be great if we didn't have to make any changes. That means that we did it right from the start. But I will tell you, there probably will be some change. Hopefully it'll be minimal. I'm a firm believer in development and giving guys opportunities, and and we're going to try to do our best to make sure that there's as little as possible. But I think it's a fair assessment that there will be some change. So.
You mentioned earlier about helping the Rangers, the local
Yep.
team.
Yep.
What type of involvement do you think you'll have with
Well, like I said, I have a kid that now that he's out of Minnesota will be a first-year Bantam. He's an 01, and then I have an 07 will be in his third year of hockey. So it's pretty broad range. When I was at Miami University, part of my job was to run a house program, and with that, when I went into their organization, they had 5 teams, and when I left within 4 years, they had 9. And their top level went up to the AA level. So I love to be in the community. I think that the more that we get involved with the youth hockey, the more we'll have people in the stands, so it benefits both. Like I said, for me, if I'm going to bring my kid to the rink, I figure I might as well go skate and help out. That's the way I feel. I don't like to sit back. It's not my personality. I like to go and get involved and do what I can. Like I said, I've run hockey schools in the summer. I know that's been a question as well. I would love to have a hockey school by the end of this summer. For one, then you guys can get to know me, your kids can get to know me, they can get to know my family. And so I think that's a big part. Like I said, for us, we really want to be involved in the community. That's why we're moving here, and we don't have any more ties anywhere else. So it's important to us.
Question for Chris. You must have a pretty good thumb on the pulse of the coaching situations, because it did not take you very long to come up with what appears to be a pretty high-quality coach for your team. How does that all happen when you have a coach who leaves?
Well, I've known Dan for 3 years now, from his time in Jamestown as a head coach, and got to know him as the type of person that I would love leading our organization. So I knew, with the change in Jamestown to him going to Cloquet, that he would be a potential candidate for us, and we started working on it right away when we found out that the change was coming. So it's just, it was one of those things, fate or luck, whatever it may be, but, Dan's been on our radar for a couple of years now, so.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming. We will have Chris and Dan and myself will be available for some additional questions when we're done. And just like to thank you again for coming. And then we'll have, like I said, a meet and greet later this afternoon at Buffalo Wild Wings from 5 to 7. And everybody's welcome to come and bring your kids and bring other community members that you think might be interested in meeting Dan and meeting Chris and talking about Blizzard hockey. So appreciate you coming, and we're excited for the summer to come. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. And visit our website and let us know if you have any other additional information that you'd like from us. There are beverages and food in the back if you guys are hungry over your lunch break. And other than that, thanks a lot for coming. So. This is